Hi, welcome back. After showing you the results from the assessment of the Agile Information Systems organizations, I'm going to show you now the improvement plan for these organizations. I'll start with the governance, defining policies describing the standardization, measurement, control, and continuous improvement of organizational project management processes, and review regularly methodologies to meet the organization's needs. This method is the basis for the majority of the other processes, which means that there should be policies established by the organization which explain what processes should be standardized, measured, control, and improve, so that the organization must know how to implement those processes and how they can respond to their needs. Moving on, we have established project manager competency processes, applied project management processes flexibility, record project resource assignments, no inter-project plan, capture and share lessons learned, encourage risk-taking, and facilitate project manager development. Provide training in project management, which, as we've seen on the assessment, is not taking too much consideration this area and should be implemented and changed. Also establish common project management framework, as well as the policies for the OPM. Establish training and development program, cultural diversity awareness, organizational business change management program. Also manage the holistic view of the project, manage the environment, as well as the organization manage self-development. Still on the governance, we have two remaining best practices to be implemented. Estimating template tools established for use across the organization, and the other project management information system. For the portfolio, we suggest several best practices to be implemented. As the portfolio is still in the beginning of the development and the organizations of the Agile information systems, we recommend just a few processes and the initial stage, the standardize. So we recommend to standardize identification, categorization, evaluation, and selection of new projects to be implemented on the portfolio. As here it shows components. By the components we are talking about projects. Also, regarding the portfolio, we suggest the standardization for the balanced portfolio process, as well as the portfolio monitor business strategy changes process. Now we enter in the project management area, starting with the initiation. We have the two main processes in this area. We have the project charter and the identification of stakeholders. For both of them, we suggest to be fully implemented, as the measure for the project charter was already achieved. We suggest the other stages for these two processes. Regarding the plan now, during the plan stage, we suggest for the project management plan to be fully implemented by these organizations, as is the measure process. The collective requirements as well. The definition of activities should be standardized and controlled to finish the cycle of this process. The measure the estimated activity resources, as well as control and improve this process also to finish the cycle. So for the activity duration process, we suggest to standardize, control, and improve. It means that the measurement was already achieved by these organizations, and this is the way to finish the cycle of this process as well. Continuing the planning stage, for the plan quality process, it should be taking in consideration the full cycle, standardize, measure, control, and improve, as it makes sense for these Agile information systems organizations. Regarding the development human resource plan, is also recommended complete the cycle of this process by standardize, measure, and improve. Moving on to the next slide, still on the planning stage, we have for the plant communications process recommendations to standardize, control, and improve this process, also to complete the cycle. Regarding the risk area, as we seen on the previous assessment results, we see low scores. So we just recommend to standardize those different 5 process of risk management. Regarding standardize the project plan risk management, standardize the project identification of the risks, standardize the project perform quality and quantitative risk analysis, and at last the project plan risk responses process. Moving on to the executing, monitoring and control, we have for the acquisition of the project team process, standardize, measure, control and improve. As for these agile organizations, it requires an extensive and hard performance by the team members for developing information systems, and the execution of this project team is very important to be implemented on these organizations. Also the development as well. So as you can see, also the 4 stages are suggested to be implemented on these organizations for the development of the project team. The same strategy is used for the managed project team. These projects related with the project team are very important for the agile. So also the 4 stages to be implemented by these organizations at this process is recommended. Also improve the project distribution information process to finish the cycle of this process. Continuing the executing, monitoring and control, for the project managed stakeholder expectations, we suggest to implement the standardization, measure, control and improve, as is a main process for these industries. And in spite of having an okay result on the assessment, it still didn't achieve any best practices, and we recommend the full cycle for this process. For the perform integrated change control, it also suggests the full implementation of this process. Again, for the project perform quality control, also the same implementation. So standardize, measure, control and improve ways to implement this process. Standardized project report performance is also suggested to be fully implemented on these organizations, and standardized project monitoring control risk process is also recommended. Now we get to the last phase of the projects, the closing phase. On the closing phase we have 2 processes, the close project or phase process and the close procurements process. The close procurements process is fully implemented by Agile Information Systems organizations, as we've seen before on the best practices achieved by this sector, and non-best practice was achieved regarding the other process of the closing stage. So we recommend the full implementation for this process at these organizations. And with this, I finish my presentation. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.